Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, April 3rd, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. Prime Minister Edi Rama and Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta held a meeting last night at the newly reconstructed bazaar area in Tirana, where they drafted a new agreement. As the opposition maintains their demand to have a provisional government, the ruling coalition has publicly announced their renewed alliance. Aura News sources confirm that the Socialist Party and the Socialist Movement for Integration Party have reached a new agreement of cooperation for the next 4 years, staying together for another mandate. The same sources say that the party leaders have also reached an agreement for whom to appoint as the new president. The parties are not giving details, but chances are that the new president will be an important figure who will guarantee consensus and credibility. The dinner at the new bazaar was scheduled to start at 20:30, and the Prime Minister, accompanied by Tirana's Mayor Erian Veliaye, was the first to arrive, followed by the Assembly Speaker and the Minister of Justice, Petrit Vasili. When asked about the meeting, the DP chairman had this to say: "You can ask fish traders about the fish market. The fish is rotten from the head down, and all the Albanian people know this." Alexander Arvizu, the Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Department of State's Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, and U.S. Ambassador Donald Liu held meetings with several Albanian political leaders today. This morning, Mr. Arvizu and the U.S. Ambassador held a meeting with the DP chairman at the Democratic Party headquarters, and later held a meeting with Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta. Mr. Arvizu and the Assembly Speaker praised the close cooperation between Albania and the U.S. and shared their joint concern for the current political situation. Announced by the Assembly Speaker's press office, Mr. Meta said that Albania appreciates the ongoing law enforcement support from the U.S. and the fight against organized crime, drug trafficking, and corruption. Mr. Meta emphasized that free and fair elections will happen with dialogue and responsibility and the advancement of key reforms such as the judicial reform. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party press office announced that the DP chairman and Mr. Arvizu discussed the political situation along with Europol and the U.S. State Department reports that indicate Albania as a main country for marijuana production in 2016. And a country significant in heroin trafficking, money laundering, and regional organized crime. According to the DP's press office, the DP chairman told the U.S. official that the dramatic situation the country is going through is because of Prime Minister Edi Rama, who, according to Basha, included people with criminal records in parliament, in city halls, and in state offices. For this reason, this government and this Prime Minister have no will and no opportunities to guarantee free and fair elections, reads the DP chairman's statement, emphasizing that only a provisional government can ensure free elections, implement the decriminalization law, and fight against drugs. The Socialist Movement for Integration chairman, Mr. Ilir Meta, held a meeting with young people of Local Administrative Unit No. 1 in Tirana, where he emphasized that the elections must be held without conflicts. Meta highlighted the significance of the electoral process for the country, adding that the SMI, as a political force, wants the elections to be free and fair because they are the elections of the Albanian citizens. The SMI chairman said, "Of course we want the elections to be free because they are neither for the opposition nor for the majority. The elections are for the citizens. The citizens vote and decide for their future, and the elections must be realized in the most tranquil and democratic way. Every kind of destabilization or conflict has a cost for the country, for the citizens, and for every family, and especially for the youth." Mr. Meta also praised the role of the youth in politics and emphasized the fact that the SMI encourages the youth to be people of integrity. Prime Minister Edi Rama is on an official visit to Montenegro, where he held a meeting with Montenegro's Prime Minister Duško Marković. Afterwards, Rama and Markovic gave a joint press conference where they announced a joint meeting of the two governments scheduled for October in Shkodër. Prime Minister Markovic thanked Albania for its support on Montenegro's Euro-Atlantic path, noting that there is room to strengthen cooperation, especially in economy, energy, transport, and tourism. Prime Minister Rama said that the joint government meeting begins a new cycle of relations between Albania and Montenegro, saying, "We decided to organize a joint meeting of our two governments to open a new cycle of relations and efforts to improve the economic and social life of our citizens, using our common potentials. Our cooperation will be strategic," declared Rama, who also praised the participation of Albanians in Montenegro's political life. The Prime Minister of Montenegro said that there are no open issues in either country and announced the establishment of an economic committee for the two countries and a regional office for police cooperation, with a key note being that Montenegro and Albania bring stability to the region. Now on its 45th day of protest, opposition leader Lulzam Basha accused the government of using money from crime and corruption to lobby in Europe and in the US to aid what he called the old republic, and guaranteed the downfall of criminal gangs with the removal of Edi Rama. Basha said, "This is a government of criminals that will do everything to stay in power. The only guarantee we have to win this epic battle is to stay together until victory. They will do everything with slandering, lying, and pressure to make us withdraw. But I can guarantee you that I will not withdraw from this battle without free and fair elections and a provisional government." The DP chairman further stated, "We are stronger and more determined every day that goes by. I will not withdraw from this battle without first fulfilling the promise I have made you, without following through with the decision we have made together to guarantee free and fair elections, to establish a provisional government, and for free votes for Albanian citizens." Albania's economy saw an increase of 3.46% during the fourth quarter of 2016, fulfilling the projection of both the government and of the International Monetary Fund, which predicted the increase to be only 3.4%. The Institute of Statistics director publicized the recent economic data today, which showed that the last quarter of 2016 marked the highest economic increase, along with factors that impacted the growth. The INSTAT director said the gross domestic product in the fourth quarter of 2016 was estimated to increase by 3.97% versus the fourth quarter of 2015. According to INSTAT, the revival of the economic activity is influenced by the significant increase in energy production, but also by the Trans-Adriatic pipeline, which has given a great impetus to the construction and transport sectors. According to INSTAT, tourism marked an increase in the fourth quarter of 2016, and citizen consumption holds the major share of spending in the economy. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.